Welcome to MacNews with me, Sonny C.
And me, Jenny W.
We are here today with the recent developments on this long-awaited law. And on the scene is our field journalist, Antonio.
This law has been in development for the past decade, undergoing several revisions concerning with the constitutionality and practicality of the legislation.
It has been quite a while since you've heard of this law. What makes you think it will finally be passed this time?
If anything, we should first check in on Dalan to see what the Supreme Court has to say.
Senior Correspondent Dalan Antonio here, on the scene, here in the Supreme Court, with Chief Justice Beatriz Caragay. So, with the controversial nature of the law and the long-stalled passing of the law, what can you say about the Supreme Court's stance on it?
I honestly think that there are still a few points to be furnished in the Act. But the Act has come a long way since its conception several years ago.
So, what exactly would happen if a law gets deemed unconstitutional?
There are two views on what happens when a law is deemed unconstitutional, as stated by former Justice Isagani Cruz. The two views are the orthodox and the modern view. In both cases, the Supreme Court must first come to a vote among its members, and if they have concluded that the law is unconstitutional, the orthodox view would say that the law is invalid, that is, the law is removed, repealed, or revoked from the books entirely. The modern view also invalidates the law, but unlike the orthodox view, does not remove the law from publication, which means it can still be brought up in other lawsuits and is still applicable beyond the case where they declared it unconstitutional.
Thank you for the explanation, ma'am, but what happens if a law is deemed constitutional?
If a law is deemed constitutional, then it will work as it is prescribed within the law itself and may be used in future court cases when appropriate.
Thank you for that, ma'am. It seems that the Chief Justice is needed back inside. Here we have Attorney Katrina Colasito to explain how judicial proceedings go for those who are accused of breaking the law.
The investigation for the mismanagement of the law or infringement of a natural or constitutional right begins when a person files a case.
The case first goes through the local courts and is raised in importance by either the local judges present or a higher authority. The investigation then begins to identify the reality of the case from the first level, whether there were human rights violations. If none are found, the investigation then checks for the infringement of any laws. Once a violation is found, the violator then enters trial and is either pleaded innocent or found guilty, and is then allowed to appeal to the court in order to lessen the punishment if the punishment seems to be too harsh.
But does that include people who are not aware of the existence of the law?
This is, of course, assuming that the executive branch fell short on its responsibilities in publishing the law in the Gazette. Ignorance of the law does not excuse anyone from compliance.
Thank you for your time, ma'am. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more updates on the law.
Welcome back to MacNews. Thank you, Dalan, for such an informative take on the law. Don't you think so too, Jen?
Yes. Now, as we will wait for further developments concerning the law, let us look into Dalan's documentary on the legislative process that took place in the formation of the law.
This law cannot be allowed to pass. This will upset the government powers.
No, that's exactly why we're filing this proposal, the Senate bill.
This law is a waste of government money. It shouldn't even have passed the proposal.
Fellow members of the Senate, now that we have the proposed bill, it's best if we now plot the dates for the reading.
It is now time to check the calendar for ordinary business. This bill is entitled The Law. With respect to the nature of this proposal, I shall refer this to be handled by the Committee on Education.
Notice that since the bill was proposed through the Senate, we call it the Senate Bill, or SB in short. If it was proposed through the House of Representatives, we call the bill a House Bill, or HB in short. Good morning, viewers! This is an update on my legislative documentary. Good day, ma'am. I'm Mr. Antonio, correspondent of MacNews. May I ask you a few questions?
Yes, ma'am.
After the first reading, what exactly does the Assigned Legislative Committee do?
The Assigned Legislative Committee works on improving the law, asking questions such as,
Is this relevant to the public? What are its implications? What exactly must it focus on? What amendments does it need? Etc., etc. After all this, the committee approves the updated bill and submits it again to the Senate for the second reading. This second reading aims to further promote the bill, hold a debate over it, and then gain sponsors from the committee and then to finalize it.
Excuse me, but how many readings are there?
For each house, a proposed bill must undergo 3 readings. They have the same purpose. It's just that the House of Representatives has more members to weigh on the bill at hand.
All those who vote for the bill, raise your hands.
This here is the third reading. After distributing and reading the final version of the bill, the Senate casts a vote, then someone is asked to tally.
Of the 24 senators, 23 voted yes and 1 voted no. The bill has passed the third reading of the Senate.
Good afternoon, sir. With the passing of the bill on the third reading, does this mean that the law will now be sent to the President for signing?
Not yet. The bill would still have to undergo 3 more readings in the House of Representatives.
What will happen after that, sir?
Once the bill has passed both houses, the President may veto the bill and return it to the House of Origin, in your case, the Senate. Congress may amend the bill or overturn the veto by a 2/3 vote of all of its members.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's see how this law will fare for the next few months. This has been Mr. Antonio for the Law Documentary, signing out.
And there ends the documentary, The Law, by our trusty correspondent. So, what else do we have in store, Jelly?
Well, while the documentary was on, we received news from the Supreme Court that the law was deemed constitutional and is now on its way to Malacanang. And it seems we have our people on the scene at the Malacanang for the press conference.
There we have it. Happening right now at Malacanang Palace, a press conference on the law.
Mr. President, how exactly does a bill become a law?
Well, before anything else, the Executive Secretary must first receive the bill. This good guy over here is the Executive Secretary. After he has received it, I can either sign the bill, veto the bill, or ignore it for 30 days, which does the same effect as signing it. Clear?
This is to the Department Secretary Present. How do you figure into the implementation of the law?
The Constitution does assign executive power to the President, as well as the power of control over the executive department. It is therefore implied power that the President can delegate responsibilities to an appointment department secretary as deemed appropriate by the law.
Will the law take into effect immediately, Mr. President?
Executive Order Number 292, Book 1, Chapter 5, Section 18, states that laws shall take effect after 15 days following the completion of their publication in the Official Gazette or in a newspaper of general circulation, unless it is otherwise provided. While it is technically law after I sign it, it will only be practically law after 15 days of publication. So as far as the law is concerned, the executive is dealing with its implementation. I have just been informed by our executive secretary as we have more pressing matters. So we must conclude this conference.
That's it, folks.
Here ends a summary of the basic powers, functions, and structure of the 3 branches of the Philippine government.
Until the next political question,
This is Mac News, signing out.